Hey, and welcome to the Audit Guidebook channel. Thanks so much for joining us for Module 5. Today, we're going to break down the absolute basics of accounting and really demystify what it's all about.
You've probably heard this quote before, right? Well, it's famous for a really good reason. In this explainer, we're not going to treat accounting like some scary math problem. Instead, let's think of it as a powerful language, one that anyone can learn to speak and understand.
You know, just like any language, accounting has its own set of rules, its own vocabulary. And once you get the hang of it, you can start to read the story it's telling, which is the financial story of a business, its performance, its health, and even its future potential.
Okay, so that language metaphor is a fantastic way to understand the why behind accounting. But now we really need to get a handle on the what. So let's dive in and look at a more official definition.
The key thing to notice here is all the action in this definition: recording, classifying, summarizing, and interpreting. That tells you that accounting isn't just a static thing. It's an active, ongoing process that's all about creating clarity so we can make better, smarter decisions.
So look, if we strip away all the technical jargon, it really just boils down to this. Accounting is the system a business uses to keep track of where the money is coming from and where it's going. And the whole point? To make smarter choices down the road. It's that simple.
And that's the big question, isn't it? If accounting is this language, this process, what are the actual steps? How do you go from, say, a huge pile of receipts and invoices to a crystal clear financial picture?
Well, it all comes down to 5 key functions. You can think of these as the rules of grammar for the language of business. They provide the structure that turns all that raw data into something that's actually meaningful and insightful.
And this lays out the entire workflow perfectly. It all starts with recording. And I mean logging every single financial transaction. Next, you classify them, putting similar things into groups. Then you summarize it all in these neat financial reports. After that comes the fun part, interpreting what it all means. And finally, you report those findings to the people who need to know. See how each step just builds on the one before it?
Okay, theory is great, but let's make this real. There's no better way to see how this works than with a simple, real-world example. So let's imagine a small local bakery.
So, every single time our bakery sells a croissant or buys a 50-pound bag of flour, that transaction gets logged. This is step 1, recording. It's the absolute foundation for everything else that follows.
Now, at the end of the day, a long list of numbers isn't super useful, right? So the bakery starts to classify things. All the money from selling pastries goes into the income bucket. All the money spent on flour, sugar, and butter goes into the expenses bucket. Suddenly, we're bringing order to the chaos. And this is where we see the big picture. The bakery takes the totals from its income and expenses buckets and summarizes them into financial statements. This condenses an entire month of activity onto a single page, like an income statement, that tells you right away if you're making money. It's incredibly powerful.
This right here is where the magic happens. The owner looks at those reports and interprets the story. Did we bring in more than we spent? Awesome, that's a profit. If not, well, it's probably time to make some adjustments. This is where data turns into decisions.
So we've walked through the whole process with our bakery, but let's zoom back out for a second. Why does learning and speaking this language matter so much in the first place?
At the end of the day, here's the bottom line. Without accounting, making business decisions is basically just guesswork. But with it, you get a clear, factual, evidence-based picture of what's really going on financially. It's the only tool that truly lets you understand a business from the inside out.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Whether it's your own side hustle, the company you work for, or even a stock you're thinking about buying, what financial story is it telling? Learning this language is how you find out the answer.
Thank you so much for watching this explainer from the Audit Guidebook. Hey, if you found this helpful, do us a huge favor and hit that like button. It really does help other people find our content. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more modules in our Basics of Accounting series. We'll see you in the next one.